it's crazy to believe that any supplement could could stop a good fighter. You know, let me go to Sugar Ray Robinson. Do you think people back then wasn't cheating? But the greats, they know how to get through it with skill. Look at Floyd Mayweather when he fought Mosley. Not saying Mosley was cheating, but Mosley had a rep. Floyd got cracked. Floyd used skill. So don't ever believe that a supplement is going to give you an advantage. That's what I'm saying. I'm not picking on no Haney.
We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live, Boxing Ego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Oh, but when I say it, it's a problem. Boxing trainer and dad Floyd Schofield says that kids don't take PEDs, but PEDs ain't gonna save you if you got skills. You know what to look for, and OSTARINE and different supplements is not gonna be the end all be all. Like I said, when I say it, I'm the bad guy. So say hello to the bad guy, man. Huh? Roll the clip.
Do not believe no OSTARINE could give you nothing that could. Let me say it this way. If you got boxing skill, it don't matter what a person take. You know how to slip a punch, parry a punch, pivot out. You know, it's a certain level of skill you will still have because you already should anticipate a motherfucker gonna come in the ring to try to kill you and hit you hard, and they might be playing dirty. You gotta order. This is a fight. So I don't get this. I'm not condoning cheating, but I want the young fighters to know, learn the basics, learn skill, learn the 5 styles of boxing, and trust me, it don't matter what a motherfucker pop, because it only takes 5 pounds of pressure to knock his ass out if you know where to hit. So it's crazy to believe that any supplement could stop a good fighter. You know, let me go to Sugar Ray Robinson. Do you think people back then wasn't cheating? And these dudes was fighting every week, sometimes shit. They was fighting a lot. And you don't think that these guys was cheating? But the greats, they know how to get through it with skill. Look at Floyd Mayweather when he fought Mosley. Not saying Mosley was cheating, but Mosley had a rep. Floyd got cracked. Floyd used skill. So don't ever believe that a supplement is going to give you an advantage. That's what I'm saying. I'm not picking on no Haney. That's their shit. And Ryan, that's their stuff. I'm not getting in their stuff. That's their stuff. I'm just saying I don't want these young fighters to believe that these supplements is going to help you when you get in there with a guy that really know the skill, really know the science of boxing. So people could do what they want, but bring your ass in there on some OSTARINE and shit in there with us. I know how the wind go. I know that the lungs, the heart is enlarged. We know where to hit. We know what that drug or any other steroid gonna do to the body, to a person breathing. So don't use them supplements thinking it will help kids. Do the right thing.
So you guys heard that? That was a brand new video from Floyd Schofield. He did talk about OSTARINE. He did reference the Devin Haney fight. This is ironically the exact same thing that Boxing Ego said. Ego Stradamus strikes again. I'm going to try my best to illustrate this point in case you're new. This is not necessarily for the regulars because they know I've been on record. Now, quick disclaimer. I've covered boxing over 10 years. I've never supported cheating. You can believe me or you could believe the Haneyacks who act like raging maniacs in boxing, you know? Because it's funny, when I make these videos, I'm very clear. So you can use anything that I say against me. Some people try to flip it in favor of Devin Haney and say stuff like, oh, you support cheaters. I've never said that in 10 years plus of covering boxing. Never once said that. So yes, we all know PEDs and cheating is bad. We condemn anybody who has an unfair advantage. However, with this particular fight, because I do look at everything on a case-by-case basis, I'm going to try my best to explain why this has fared so badly with Devin Haney. For one, you got to look at perception, both the public's perception and also what Devin Haney said pre-fight, right? He's saying things like Ryan's a C+ fighter and he's an A+ fighter and he's Floyd Mayweather reincarnated. The lie detector test determined that was a lie. Floyd fought Shane Mosley. Shane Mosley clipped him in the second round. Floyd went on to win every single round. So Floyd's recuperative power in several fights, Zab Judah, DeMarcus Corley, is legit elite and next level. Devin Haney was getting caught with the same left hook throughout the fight, and it never seemed like he was fully at that 100% energy bar with the recuperative powers. Even guys like Amir Khan had decent recuperative powers in certain fights. Like when Amir Khan got hurt versus Marcos Maidana, he went on to win that fight. He was badly hurt in the fight. Devin Haney showed heart, right? You can't take that away from him. He kept picking himself back up and he showed heart. But in terms of what Floyd Schofield is saying, the skill level, it looked like you were getting outboxed by Devin. Devin was getting outboxed by a guy that wasn't supposed to be able to outbox you according to the public's perception, right? So that's that. The perception is a huge reason. Another reason is how Devin and his team have handled this whole Ryan Garcia fight, right? They seemingly want to blame everything 1,000% like on OSTARINE, which Ryan Garcia is saying he unintentionally ingested, right? And they're saying, hey, you know, almost as if it for sure would have been a Devin Haney victory if Ryan didn't test positive. And it's ironic because when Devin Haney when it was first a loss, because we didn't know anything about the positive test hadn't come back, right? Devin Haney was just disappeared. He went dormant. You didn't really see him. He wasn't visible. Literally the day this report came out that gave Devin Haney almost a scapegoat or a reason, a rationale, like, oh, I look bad because of this. He pops out and does the ESPN interview. These things, I think, have hurt Devin Haney. But to further illustrate what I said, which is now being corroborated by Floyd Schofield, I said it from the beginning. PEDs are not like some miracle worker where that's the end all be all. You take PEDs, you're going to win the fight. Case in point, Oscar De La Hoya fought against Fernando Vargas. It says aftermath. Though Vargas expressed his desire for a rematch with De La Hoya, during his post-fight interview, a drug test was administered the night of the fight, and it revealed that he had tested positive for anabolic steroids, right? So he was on something in terms of what he popped for that is a lot harder to explain because it's anabolic, right? So some synthetic stuff not supposed to be in your system. So in terms of if you get any kind of PED expert, they'll tell you in terms of severity, anabolic steroid is going to be worse than any SARM. That's just the reality of it. Like any type of medicine or supplement, there's different severities. Like they have Tylenol and it has this milligrams, and then they have higher milligrams, like, you know, maximum strength and, you know, things that are stronger than Tylenol, et cetera, right? In that fight, Oscar De La Hoya clipped up Vargas and knocked him out, right? So same kind of concept. But what he tested positive for, and again, you can ask Victor Conti or anybody, what was more of a supreme drug? What Fernando Vargas flagged for in the De La Hoya fight, or a SARM like OSTARINE that Ryan Garcia had. Again, you guys can try to bend, manipulate, and misconstrue what I'm saying, but I'm saying it very clearly, right? So this is a perfect example of a fight where the non-cheating fighter, like the fighter that didn't have anything in their system or didn't flag for anything in their system, beat the crap out of the fighter and stopped the fighter that did flag for anabolic steroid. This is just the reality of it, right? De La Hoya. So when BOXINGEGO or Floyd Schofield is saying this, it's looking pretty true, right? It's not to say that, hey, everybody should get on PEDs and it's okay. I've never said that. I never said it's okay to do steroids to your benefit. And keep in mind, this was a bad blood grudge match. East LA, Oscar, you got Vargas from Oxnard, and they hated each other. You know, bad blood type of deal. Oscar won the fight. So the Golden Boy is a perfect example of someone who did it right, passed all his drug tests, and, you know, Olympic gold medal. He had the skills to beat the person unknowingly that was on an anabolic steroid. So that's one example. Another would be Amir Khan. Let me show you. Amir Khan was handed a 2-year ban from all sport after doping positive, right? Former world champion tested positive, you guessed it, for OSTARINE. The same exact thing that was in Ryan Garcia's system in 2022. Positive test followed the bout against Kell Brook. So the fight had already been concluded. Same concept. This was a grudge match. Amir Khan got stopped by Kell Brook. So Kell Brook, the fighter that tested clean, stopped the guy that had the same stuff in his system, right? You see him celebrating. And that was Amir Khan, who had a 2-year ban. These are the realities of it. You guys can watch these fights, right? So it goes both ways. You could look up fights. There's fights where people were on PEDs and they won the fight, and it was later revealed that they're on PEDs. But there's several examples of people that fought somebody unknowingly that was on any kind of performance enhancing banned substance, and they won the fight, a lot of times by knockout or a demo job, like Frank Martin versus Michelle Rivera. So fast forward to the Ryan Garcia fight, I stand on what I said. The Haneys and the Haneyacks, they're trying to erase the night and, you know, make people forget and simply push that Ryan was this big gearhead, juicehead. That's it. The OSTARINE is what gave him magical, mythical powers, and that's it. That's all. But I think we're failing in the accountability department when it comes to, and I'm not blaming Devin Haney for not having something in his system. And I know that sounds crazy, but the reason I gotta speak very clearly and very specifically, because there's a lot of idiots on the internet who will try to bend and twist what's being said. We're talking about skills. Like, for example, this is a true question. Did Ryan Garcia, it's a 2-part question. In the Devin Haney fight, rate Ryan Garcia's performance overall. Like, did he, and I'm talking about every single round, not just the rounds where he was hurting Devin Haney. I'm talking about, what would you rate on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being Floyd Mayweather versus Arturo Gatti? Because as I've stated from the beginning, Ryan didn't look particularly good. The only times he looked good was when he was whooping Devin Haney and letting his hands go. But there was many portions of this fight where he was turning his back. He looked like tired, like he was trying to pace himself, and he was letting Devin Haney hit him in the back after he had already hurt Devin Haney noticeably. And it was like he was trying to conserve energy. So you guys, I'll let you rate that in the comment section. Rate from round 1 to 12, the whole totality of Ryan's performance. Because, like, how sharp did he look throughout the fight? Because I think Tank Davis fought a sharper Ryan. It's just he couldn't land like he was landing on Devin Haney. I truly believe that. So that's question one. Second, to all the OSTARINE experts, the same amount of OSTARINE that was in his system, the same setup, the missing weight by 3.2 pounds. If Ryan fought Floyd Mayweather, do you think that the fight looks exactly like it looked with Devin Haney? That's my honest question. Two-part question. Part one, rate and assess Ryan's sharpness of his performance 0 to 10. Second part is, if you replace Devin Haney on April 20th and the same version of Ryan, the same exact setup, the 3.2, the OSTARINE in his system, do you think that Floyd Mayweather would get dropped 5-6 times and just get blasted out by Ryan throughout much of the fight and never be able to recover and just continue to get dropped, right? Let me know that in the comment section, because I'm gonna tell you, it wouldn't have looked like this. I don't care what Ryan was on, it wasn't gonna look like this. And styles make fights. You know, Ryan was not gonna do this and this is what Schofield is saying and what Ego has been telling y'all, is when you have, first of all, there's a lot of guys that have power. And some of these guys, I'm talking about natural power. We're not talking about like cheating power, but natural power. The trick is to not get hit with the bullshit. You know what I mean? You don't want to get hit with it. You don't even want to test it. I've even heard guys say that in like the interview. They're like, hey, this guy you're about to fight has a lot of power. You know, do you think you could take his punch? And then the fighter will be straight up, I'm not trying to get hit with anything like that. I'm not trying to get hit with nothing silly. So I don't want to find out. I don't want to find out how hard Better Be hits or Wilder. So the trick is to not get hit. And from what I've seen, my honest assessment is Devin looked very susceptible and defensively flawed. The first time he fought someone equal in age, equal in size, and had some attributes like speed and long enough arms to reach you, Devin, his defense looked a lot leakier. And this is not shaming, you know, people are going to try to do this sympathy card and like, oh, you're shaming Devin because Ryan cheated and all this other stuff. You're condoning cheating. No, it's a simple boxing assessment of what we've seen in the fight. And I know I'm not the only one that shares this. A lot of the people Devin fought, like Regis Prograis included, they were all shorter than him. So Regis had power, but he's coming off a bad performance as short. And he had shorter T-Rex arms, and Devin rehydrated 25 pounds. When somebody finessed Devin with the weight and had enough counter attributes to counter what Devin does well, it was a completely different fight. And again, a lot of people are trying to blame it wholeheartedly on just OSTARINE, but I just gave you examples of Oscar De La Hoya, who fought a guy on anabolic steroid and knocked them out, right? I gave you an example of Kell Brook, who fought Amir Khan and knocked him out, and he had the same exact drug. So it is a case-by-case basis. Ryan is not the first person to pop dirty, and he won't be the last. And it's not, people are acting like I'm not condoning people cheating, but people are acting like if you happen to fight somebody who is on something, that it's an automatic death sentence and they're guaranteed to win. And that's what we're rebuking. That's what I don't believe. And the reason I don't believe is because it's a mixed bag. Some people have fought guys on PEDs and lost, but there's a lot of examples of guys who have fought people who tried to cheat and were on harder things and still lost, right? So the best thing that Devin can do is try to do a rematch with Ryan Garcia, enforce stringent drug tests. And he's been kind of hit or miss with that. 1 minute he says he doesn't see himself rematching Ryan Garcia, but then he got a lot of backlash for that statement. And then now he's saying that he wants it, but it still sounds shaky. He sounds a bit stuttery when he's saying it, and it's just not congruent with what he said in the past. And it's not congruent with statements like, I want this guy out of boxing permanently. He should receive a lifetime ban. How are you going to fight someone in a rematch if you want them banned from the sport of boxing totally? So again, if you think that what I've stated in this video is supported, because that's what people say, oh, you're just a Ryan Garcia apologist, and you can say whatever you want. It's not going to change my message. You're not going to stop the programming. It has nothing to do with celebrating cheaters and, you know, condoning cheating. Ryan is suspended. Good. Suspend him. He's gone. He got his ding dong. The witch is dead. He got his punishment. This is what the Haneys wanted, right? Still doesn't change the defensive lapses that I seen and the lack of recuperative powers when he got clipped. You guys, some of you in the comment section are making it sound as if Ryan Garcia took the Black Panther herb, the herb from Black Panther, you know what I mean, that gives you the power of the Black Panther, and then they had to like take it away. The power of the Black Panther has been removed. It doesn't, no PEDs is gonna give you that. Like, for example, let's say some bodybuilder, steroid, juice head, turkey, some gearhead fights Anthony Joshua. He's getting knocked out, bro. Period. Just like when we seen Anthony Joshua fought a big Francis Ngannou MMA fighter, but he lacked the defense to defend. He got blasted out, and Ngannou is a guy with threatening power, and he has a lot of size, but skills pay the bills. When it comes to boxing, the rule set that Ngannou agreed to, he just was no match for Anthony Joshua's technique. He didn't know how to slip and parry, get out the way of shots and stuff like that. And that's what it seemed like with Devin Haney. And here's the thing. I think Devin getting clipped in the first round made it exponentially worse for Devin Haney, because he almost seemed like he immediately lost his way. Like he was embarrassed. And then from that moment of pure embarrassment, because the world seen he was clipped, and he got clipped by Ryan Garcia and hurt, he started trying to fight like a fighter that he's really not. And I think the game plan, like, and I blame the Haneys too for the approach. Like, first of all, and hear me loud and clearly, there's certain things and benefits. Of course, if you're taking anything, then there's benefits associated with that. I'm not stupid. I understand that. But on the contrary, there's certain things that OSTARINE won't do. For example, OSTARINE won't prevent a guy who has a crazy chin or crazy recuperative powers. OSTARINE is not going to be like, oh, you got hurt 10 times worse and things like that. But even better, what OSTARINE won't do is, how did OSTARINE make Bill Haney tell his son to go get Ryan Garcia and fight in the center of the ring? Tell me how any supplement or PED gave the Haneys a bad game plan and made them follow a bad game plan, because that's what I seen. And this is what people are ignoring. They just keep saying, oh, Ryan's a cheater. Ryan's a cheater. Good. Okay, great. We got that settled. There's still a conversation here. And Devin Haney this night was not as advertised, period. This is not the pretty boy Floyd reincarnated type of skill set. And that's exactly what Floyd Schofield's dad is saying. I don't care who says, I don't care what you guys say in the comment section. I'm telling you straight up, Oscar beat a guy on anabolic steroids. So it's not, oh, why are you bashing Devin? He's the one that was cheated, right? It's how the fight looked. I think that's the main thing that people are missing, because they're only focusing. Ryan's already in trouble. He's already punished. This is done. The commission had their investigation. WBC said there's not going to be. That's out the window. Whether you like it or not, this is boxing. But the thing people are missing is the mere fact that at the end of the day, no matter what you guys say, the fight did not, drugs or no drugs, did not need to look like that. But styles make fights, and it did look like that. And I think that's what people are getting at. Even Gary Antoine Russell said that. He said, like, you're not going to get ring IQ and certain abilities from any PED. It does help you in certain departments like endurance or, white blood cells and things like that. Maybe you can recover faster. But what most people seen on April 20th, these didn't look like a lot of the real issues that Devin Haney suffered, right? Unless you think that Ostarine turned Ryan into an X-Men mutant and he had supernatural power, Michael Myers power all of a sudden, And then if that's the case, then we disagree, right? It doesn't make you into a Marvel superhero. I'm just telling you what it is. And Devin did not dodge the left hook. He was making mistakes in there. Like, he was shooting the left jab and then dropping his right hand. How did Ostarine do that? How did Ostarine make you make a mistake that you've made throughout your career? Ryan was the only one that made you pay for it. That's why I think people are getting this, confused. And this is what really hurt Devin Haney's stock is, yes, we understand that Ryan tested positive, had something in his system that wasn't supposed to be in here. Yet and still, the way the fight looked, given another fighter, it doesn't necessarily look like that. Like, for example, here's another example. And you guys let me know in the comment section. If Ryan said, oh, I can't make weight, and, he was fighting Jaron Ennis, does Ryan bully Jaron Boots Ennis like he did to Devin Haney, in your honest opinion? Because some of you guys seem to think that Ostarine is the end all be all, and that's the only reason Devin Haney lost. Now, there's no way to really take it back or anything like that, but I don't personally believe that. I think, just like Mr. Floyd Schofield is saying, skills would evade certain shots, and you can be on something and still not win the fight, depending on who you're in there with. And I do believe that, because here's the other thing that people are missing. There's a lot of people who are crooked and cheating in boxing. They just haven't been caught yet. That's the major thing that I think people don't get. People are just going off of what happened in the fight and who tested positive. Do you honestly believe that the only people in the history of boxing that have cheated have been the handful of people like Ryan and Canelo and Jarrell Big Baby Miller and Dillian White out of all of boxing? Or do you truly think there's some guys, like, I can think of guys right now, I'm not going to say a bunch of names, but I could think of guys who move through weight classes, or they seem to develop strength, or their body changed crazy. No Diddy, things like that. So the point I'm making is there's people on stuff that is either undetectable and or they flushed it out their system and got the right people in their corner, and all in all, they just haven't been caught with it. And that doesn't mean they guaranteed won the fight. Like, and I really don't want to do this, but I think I got to do this. This dude, Alexander Vodstick, he didn't fail any type of PED test, but he was never this big. All I'm going to say is this look kind of sus. Because I followed his career. I've even covered his fights when he was with Top Rank, and he never really looked like this. Look at this is an old picture versus a new picture. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know what some of these fighters are on. Truth be told, some of these fighters, I don't know if they on or not. So that's the thing that people are confusing. You think the only people that are on and cycling and microdosing are just the handful of people got caught. Absolutely not. I definitely think there's more people, and I don't want to do a bunch of speculation because, again, if you haven't failed, then you haven't failed. But let's just say there are some people in boxing that, to me, it looked kind of sus. And I would look at them like, hey, this look, we'll just say sus. We'll just say sus. So that's just my honest opinion with the whole Ostarine. People can say whatever they want, but Devin Haney underperformed, all things considered, for who he's supposed to be. You're not supposed to get hit with the same punch over and over and over and over again. Ryan looked sluggish. He said he was drinking. He didn't look like he was in career best shape. He looked very distracted. There was things that Ryan was doing that you can't fake, like Twitter Spaces. That was really him. He really had to be online to do some of these social media, Instagram lives. So again, you guys can say whatever you want and blame it all on Ostarine, but I'm telling you, there's been people on Ostarine and other stuff, and they still have lost fights. We unpack.